I'm Chad Evan Collins, and this is the Marketing on Demand show. I set out to answer the million-dollar question. What is the biggest needle mover in your business, and what drives people to buy faster than anything else? Through selling over $30 million of my own products and services and setting 2 Guinness World Records for ticket sales along the way, I discovered how to move the needle consistently and quickly. If you're a marketer, e-commerce seller, entrepreneur, or founder, join me as I reveal my exact strategies and see what today's smartest business leaders are doing right now to explode their sales. Do you want to learn how to boost your sales using these methods? Text the word DEMAND to 90851. That's DEMAND to 90851. Now, here's the show. Hey, it's Chad Evan Collins here, your host of the Marketing on Demand show, where I've boiled down online marketing into a simple formula anyone can use. It's the combination of awareness and response-based marketing paired with Skirgency that equals marketing on demand. I want to send you my marketing on demand method for free. Just visit marketingondemand.com or text the word method to 90851. Now, I want to let you know in this episode, we're going to be chatting with Marina Girgis about your brand. Now, branding starts immediately and lands into the awareness piece of the marketing on demand formula. So let me bring in Marina and tell you a little bit about her. Marina is a brand expert and strategist helping new entrepreneurs and small business owners build authentic, true-to-self brands and make more money online through intuitive branding with a customized brand strategy. Her ultimate goal is to empower women to live the life they want to live, travel more, and move to their dream city despite self-limiting beliefs, gender, and cultural norms. Marina, welcome to the Marketing on Demand show.
Thanks for having me, Chad. Really excited for this.
Yeah, me too. You know, we were chatting earlier about, now if you're watching this on YouTube, Marina has very similar hair to my wife, which means she is very aware about branding. I'm sure her hair is part of her brand. It stops thumbs when people are scrolling through. I want to know when people are thinking about their brand, what they're going to appear like to their audience, what's the first thing they should think about?
I think the first thing that they should think about is their story and their voice. I think a lot of people, when they think branding, they instantly think the visuals, right? And I mean, first impressions are everything. You need great visuals, but you also need to represent yourself in, that's why I always say, an authentic, true to self way. So the first thing you want to do is you want to dig deep into your own personal history and personal story. And I feel like all the amazing like personal brands out there, when you think like Gary Vee, who else? Michelle Obama. Like, let's think about all these like amazing people that just stand alone from their companies. They all have built up a personal presence, right? They have dig deep into their background, their own personal story, their own struggles. And that's what makes a brand stand out from the rest, right?
Absolutely. Now, I want to know, when did you know you were passionate about this topic? At what age did you feel like, you know what, I am into this branding thing. I'm into, and then not only am I into it, but I want to help other people with it.
Oh my God. I think ever since I was little, like there's always this like weird thing about me. Like I would always like try to do something just a little bit different. You know, I would wear my hair differently, wear something really outrageous to school, like. And that was my branding. And of course, you don't know it as a kid growing up, but like as you get older, you're like, wait, that's what differentiates me from the rest. And then I went to school for fashion design. And when you're studying to be a fashion designer, you need to stand out. You can't be like the rest. And we're always in competition with everyone in class. And you know, you want to win awards and all of that. So I had to find a way to stand out. So I went ham on branding when it came to like my senior collection. And then I realized, wow, I actually like that more than designing. I mean, anyone could design, anyone could have this talent to present a beautiful collection. But what makes me stand apart from everyone else was my branding, the way I represented my collection, the story behind my collection. So I think that's when I kind of like really got into it. I pushed it aside, but then, it was calling my name again and again. So now I'm full on doing branding. So yeah.
And when did you start to decide that you wanted to help others with their branding?
So actually, I was very passionate about travel, and I've traveled extensively around the world by myself. And I realized that I wanted to help people do the same thing. And I didn't know how would I help women travel more and travel by themselves and have that freedom. So I was thinking, okay, if people need that freedom, then they need to build brands and build businesses that they could run from anywhere in the world, right? So that they could travel more. So that's when I realized I have an opportunity here in the market to help. Specifically, I focus on helping people who are obsessed with freedom and working remotely, and they just want to live life the way they want to. So I was like, wow, that is my opportunity to help people travel more, be more present with their families like you are, by working from anywhere in the world that they want, by setting their own hours. And to do that, you really need to build a strong brand.
And you're speaking from experience. You've been able to kind of unlock that lifestyle for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was working in corporate as a designer, and I hated it. Like, I knew this was not, I wasn't performing well. I just knew I felt like I was falling behind in life, doing this. And it wasn't until like I quit and I decided I'm just gonna help people build brands and build my own brand, because the reason why I started this business really was to allow me to live this lifestyle, and that's another thing that's really important when you're starting a brand, to define why. Like, why are you doing it?
When you mentioned something earlier that, the way you dressed when you went to school was unique, and that was part of your brand per se, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there are so many people listening that they're trying, when they hear that, they're like, oh, I wonder, like, what was my brand when I was going through school, or what's even my brand now, right? Because a lot of people don't think about themselves as being the brand or being a brand.
Right.
How do you help someone through that process? What types of questions can they ask themselves to figure out what is it that I represent? What is my brand?
Yeah, I think we are very diverse, and a lot of us come from different, cultural backgrounds, different upbringings. I think that's the first thing you need to look at, like the way you were brought up, your background. What were the things that you had to overcome? So, like, think about obstacles, think about opportunities that you've had, but also think about like if personal style, like. Or you could think about what have people been coming to you for. So like I always ask people, like, what is the one thing that people on social media would ask you about? Are they asking you like, wow, your style is great, or I really love the way you, I don't know, the way you set up your podcast or how you edited your videos. Like, people will come up to you for certain specific things online, and we just have to pay attention to the little details. So it's a great insight to listen to what other people think of us,
For sure. And when back to teaching, right?
Yeah.
And your focus now, which is teaching us how to figure this out about ourselves.
Yeah.
What was it like in the beginning? Because I think there are so many people, and whether they're teaching someone about brand, or they're teaching someone about Facebook ads, or they're teaching someone about how to grow their Instagram accounts, right? They may have had the success for themselves, but it's different when you take what you've learned and refigure out what you've learned, right? Almost reteach it to yourself before you could teach someone else. What was that process like for you when you had to dig deep and figure out, these are the things step by step that have worked for me, and now I'm confident enough to teach someone else?
I think for me, it was a lot of trial and error. And I think that's the thing that scares people, because they will try and fail and then stop, you know? But what I was doing was I try, I fail, I try, I fail. And it was like a cycle. I continued that until I find, I still do that, And that's the thing. People think that they're going to get to a brand and then just like go to sleep. No, it does not stop there. Like I'm sure with your brand, Chad, like it's a continuous cycle of trial and error, right? 100%. So you continue to refine who your target audience is. You continue to refine your offers. When I first started, I was offering so many things. I was like a diner, basically. I was offering all kinds of meals under the sun. And you can't price yourself as a high ticket like offer or a high ticket service until you really refine and define what you're offering. And you can only do that by trying things out, getting feedback, and then using that feedback to continue to refine your offers and services until you land at something that is really, really magical. And that's when like the brand starts to shine, right? Because we can't just accept things how they are. And I think that's the one thing I always teach people when I work with them one-on-one, because they just want solutions like this, right? They think 60 minutes brand strategy that will give them everything that they need to create an amazing brand. But we all know that when you're creating strategies, like whether it's brand strategies or marketing, it's going to take at least 6 to 9 months to see any results. And during that time, you still have to keep refining. So I really think that was the kind of like turning point for me.
Yeah, and you have to be persistent with it, and you need to be consistent with it, and then we'll start to see some of those results. I mean, this show, right? This podcast alone is an awareness based marketing, piece of content. And again, with any show, when it starts off, there are very few people that are paying attention to it, and that's why so often people start shows and then they go away, because they didn't see like 4 million downloads after their first episode. And it's the consistency with putting out content. And in time, absolutely, you're going to be able to attract the right audience to you. I'm curious for you, who or what was your first big client, your first win that really gave you a whole bunch of confidence? Because I know what that feeling, like I know what that feels like when you get that first win. It just fills you up with confidence. You feel like $1 million. You feel like you can go out and get more and more and more, and it really motivates you to keep going. And it validates all of the work you've put in, whether months or years before, right? I mean, that payoff, that's like winning the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So who or what was that first win for you?
Well, I mean, my services started picking up like almost maybe 5 months into business. Yep. And there was one specific service that I offered, was this whole complete like branding package. And it was this one client that booked it and then referred me to another person. And this person referred me to another person. And then I was like, wait a second, there's something happening here. This is really good. And that was like my win. And the referral was like really what got me thinking, like I probably gave a really good client experience to that first client that, took that risk and tried out my branding package. And that's why they kept referring me. So actually, after doing this, I think with like maybe 4 or 5 clients, I tripled the price of that package.
I love it.
So I think that's the thing I was talking about earlier too, is that paying attention to the little details, right? Like paying attention to feedback. What do people come to you over and over and over again? Because I mean, there's a reason, right? That people come to you over and over again for that one specific product, for that one specific thing, or with that one specific problem that they have. And that's where you could play with your prices, charge more, earn more.
Well, look, you're a limited resource, right? There's only one Marina.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when we talk about marketing on demand, that means that's a very scarce resource. And when the resources are scarce and the demand is high, that means your price goes up. So you're absolutely playing the game the right way. I'm curious. I'm curious about that first client. So often, there's a lot of advice out there that, give away your services for free and build up a pool of testimonials. I'm just curious what strategy you took there. Did you go and offer services to build up a bunch of testimonials, or did you find someone that was going to pay, even if it was a lower price than you pay now,
Yeah.
they're going to pay for your services and then hopefully have a great testimonial after you deliver?
So honestly, I just didn't want to go that route of like offering free services because I already offer so much free content on both my blog, my website, my social media. I did not feel like I needed to offer services for free. Also, I felt like with branding, if I offered something for free, it takes away from what it is. And when I did do something for free, it was just like a strategy session. The client or the person that I offered this for free to wasn't working hard enough, you know? And with strategies, you really have to implement them. So I learned a hard lesson there. So actually, with that first client that we were talking about, they paid me a lower rate. I gave them a range and I was like, you can pay me whatever you want within this range. I will accept that. Okay. But it gave me the confidence because they actually were a really big blogger, and I ended up branding them, and it boosted my confidence, like you said. And it was just like my first win that brought me many, many more people. And then they messaged me a lot of these testimonials that I didn't even ask for because the price was lower. They felt like the need to just continuously like send me like words of encouragement, you know, like, hey, actually tripled what I spent on you already from the branding that you created for me. So I just leveraged that. And then I kept increasing the prices of my services gradually until I was like, you know what? I'm at a place where I have amazing testimonials. I don't feel like I priced it too low when I was doing it, but like I think now it's worth much more just because of the testimonials and the portfolio that I've built up already.
And the success.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the success. So you said something in passing, but I want to bring it back and highlight on it because you said I put enough content out there on my social media that's free that I knew that if someone wanted more of my services, I had to charge. And that's huge because all of that awareness-based marketing that you're doing with your free content builds a body of work that you have that you could always point to and say, well, you know what, if you're on a sales call and someone decides not to go ahead and do it, or they're trying to talk you down on price, you can say, well, I've actually written about that. You know, I could send you a link to one of my blog posts about it.
Yes.
Right. But what people pay for is you working on their stuff. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Because they know that you're an expert in your field. And this is the general you. Anyone that has a product or a service that's looking for customers to either hire them or buy the products that they have. Of course, there's always an alternative. There's always a cheaper alternative. It's how comfortable someone is with you, with the brand that you've built. Do they feel like they could trust you? And if they do, they'll pay you more than they would someone else for the same exact thing.
I mean, you highlighted something really important here. You said trust you. And that is why it's so important to build that personal brand online, right? You're creating all these amazing free content online to build trust. You know, the trust factor that people always talk about. You are just online to represent yourself, to represent your zone of genius, right? And tell people that they can trust you in a way, right? And that you not necessarily justify, but like, people, like you said, people will pay you for your time, right? They will pay you for you because there are so many other people maybe doing the same thing and charging less. But
yeah, it comes back to that body of work. It comes back to that content that you put out, whether it's TikTok videos, whether it's your Instagram reels, whether it's your Facebook posts, whether it's your YouTube channel. If they're absorbing all of that content that you're putting out there, and then they have an opportunity for you to work on their stuff, it doesn't matter what anyone else has. They're absorbing all of your content. And there's something that happens, with someone that gets into this mode where they start binge consuming all of your stuff, right? Well, they're in that mode where they're binge watching all of your content, and then you're able to make them an offer and it's something that they need right at that moment. I mean, they're not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't even matter what, if they need it that bad, it doesn't even matter what your price is.
No. And the thing is that all comes back to creating really amazing high quality content that speaks to that target audience. So it's really important to know who you're speaking to and what their one biggest pain point is, because we tend to want to solve all the problems for our clients, and then they get really confused and overwhelmed, and they're like, well, I don't know if this is the right person for me. But if I keep pushing on that like pain point that they have, I'm like, hey, I understand, I get it, I was once there, but look at me, this is my transformation. I can assure you people will just connect instantly and be like, this Marina is the right person to go with. Chad is my guy. Like, I need to hire him. And actually, I do have that question in my the way I qualify my clients when they come in and they answer it. It's like, why did you choose to work with me? They're like, some of them would say, you said X, Y, and Z in a video, and I really felt that you were talking to me, or I really felt that I needed this, and I just don't know where to start.
Bingo.
So even though I shared so much value in my video, I almost gave away things for free. People are still coming to me because they're like, if she can do that in a video, in like a 3-minute video for free, imagine what she can do for me in 60 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's so many people on the fence about, what do I put out there for free? What do I hold back and sell? And my philosophy on this is you just continue to put stuff out there that feels right, and not think about, well, maybe I shouldn't say this because that's what people pay me for, right? No, people pay you for the step-by-step process.
Absolutely.
So we could talk about, the marketing on demand method all day long, right? And I could pull out the awareness piece. I could pull out a response piece. I could pull out a scarcity piece like that we talked about earlier. And I could talk about them in 5 different episodes, but they're not in order, right? So could someone go back and, replay and get the transcripts and figure it all out? Of course.
Yes.
If they want someone to walk them through it, hold their hand, make sure they're going to have success, that's what they're paying for. I never think about, oh, I shouldn't say that because, that's in the course, right? Yeah. That's module 4. We can't talk about module 4, Marina, right? No.
But the thing, Chad, like, who's even paying that much attention? People scroll, they'll be like, oh, I really like this, I'll bookmark it, thinking they'll come back to it. How often do we do that?
Right.
The reason people pay you for your time or for the course is that you walk them, like you said, walk them through things step by step. They want the accountability. They want to know that there is someone, the expert, helping them, and I really think a big part of it is that they want to be in your community. So like I said in the beginning, building the personal brand, making people trust you, positioning yourself as the leader and the expert in this field. People just want that closeness to you. You become part of my community when you pay me for a strategy session, when you join my 8-week program. Like, I check in on you, and I actually list that as part of the things that they get in my programs. I say, you get my endless love and support, because seriously, like, once you join in, I'm sure you do that with your students. Like, once they join in, that's it. You always check in on them, you show them all the love, so people want that. I mean, at the end of the day, marketing is psychology and like just basic human behavior.
Yeah, I love that you're getting like all happy about it. Yeah, right? It just shows me how passionate you are about this. Really? And the people that are listening to this, obviously, they're like passionate in marketing nerds like we are. So I want to get back to in your bio. One of the things in your bio is that you want to serve women. Right. And you want women to be able to live the life they want, to have the freedom they want, to travel to where they want. And you talked about picking like your who and your why. I'm curious, like even guys like me that wear black shirts and backwards baseball caps need someone to help us with branding every now and again. But you decided, you know what? I want to focus on women. How come?
Well, I'm the target audience that I'm going after, really. And I think that's a big thing. It's like, it's easy for me to relate to women. And I think women women are now starting more businesses than ever before, right? And especially with COVID and everything, everyone's starting a business.
Yeah.
And that's my focus because A, I can understand them. B, this is like my passion group. Like, I want to see more women going out there living the life they want to live. Because I mean, my background, like I come from an Egyptian background. I lived in Egypt, I lived in Kuwait. It's where I grew up, and I didn't have these opportunities, you know? And I created this for myself. And I did have the support of other amazing women out there. I've worked for a bunch of people when I was still like, you know, working corporate and all of that. But like, I wanted to provide that opportunity for women as well. And I think that's important when you're starting your business and your brand, to see which group are you the most passionate about helping. And that doesn't mean I say no to men. You know, I do still get, you know, male clients, but I don't necessarily like market to men.
Got it. What has been, you know, if you could point back to one of your clients that has really hit it out of the ballpark after they went through your program, like give me a fun success story you've seen one of your clients have.
Oh, yes. So one of my clients, and I actually like not too long ago messaged her and I was like, you are my ideal client. I wish all my clients would be you. She's amazing. We went through a strategy session, then we did my full branding package, and she was just so consistent. She was posting every single day, creating a lot of value. She went from, I believe she was under 500 followers. I think she was around 200 or so, to going to 1,500 in a month. That, I mean, you know, the world of social media, that is insane growth. Like it blew my mind away. And I asked her, how did that happen? You're the only person that really was able to do that. Well, she was like, I was being consistent. She posted every day, and she used the engagement method that I gave her to engage with other accounts and to find similarities. And she was getting already invited to like podcasts and writing for other people's blogs. And I was just like, this is incredible. So this was like my biggest like client success story. And I definitely love to tell that story, because it just shows that you have to put in the work. You know, you can't expect to go through someone's course or to hire someone and expect things to just magically happen. You have to go in and apply all the strategies and really put in the time each day to create high quality content.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
All right, we're rounding the corner here. I've got three quick questions for you.
Ooh, okay.
So, Marina, who is one person that inspires you?
Ooh, wow. That's a tough one. I think my business coach. I love her so much. She is also my friend. Yeah, definitely.
And number two, name like a cool tool or an app or extension that you're using right now.
Canva, hands down.
Love
it.
We've been rocking with Canva here lately.
So intuitive. It's so easy to use.
And then when you get the pro account, it just unlocks so much more. Yeah. It's like so worth it.
And as a designer, I know it's bad to say Canva, but yeah, Canva for sure, because you know all designers use Adobe. But
yeah, but if you want easy and fast and professional looking,
absolutely, Canva is the way to go.
Canva's the way to go. How about a book or podcast you love and why?
Atomic Habits by James Clear. Love it. Phenomenal book. Seriously, like changed the way I do things and think of habits. I love the idea of habit stacking. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book.
It's an incredible book. Like habit stacking is the way you would stack habits so that you could stick to doing something every day consistently. So definitely I recommend that for anyone struggling to keep up with their goals or with starting a new habit or kicking out like a bad habit that they have.
I love it. How can anyone listening find out more about you?
My website, so that is livinvivaciously.com. And I'm very active on Instagram at vivaciously Marina. I would love to connect with anyone on here. Send me a DM. I'm active. And I love making new friendships on Instagram.
I love it. And listen, I want to remind everyone that's listening or watching that I want to send you my marketing on demand method for free, and awareness-based marketing and branding is a part of that. So just visit marketingondemand.com or text the word method to 90851. I'm Chad Evan Collins, and this has been the Marketing on Demand Show. Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed this episode, please let me know by rating this podcast and leaving me an honest review. If you found this episode useful for your business, take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at chadcollins.me and use hashtag marketingondemand. That way I'll be able to see it and repost it. I also created a guide of the top 40 ways people are using marketing on demand strategies and tactics in their businesses. And I want you to have it for free. Just text GUIDE, GUIDE, to 90851 and I'll get it right over to you on demand. Until next time, I'm Chad Evan Collins, and this has been the Marketing on Demand Show.